Hey folks, welcome back to the Portable Gamer, welcome back to Train Sim World, and welcome back to the Great Western Express DLC. Let's do another scenario. Now there's two left that we haven't done yet. One is Christmas closures at 40 minutes, the other is Dragline at 75 minutes. Christmas closures it is. It's the Christmas holidays and Network Rail have closed London Paddington as part of the Crossrail construction program. Trains are being turned back at Ealing Broadway. See what they got for us. Got a little peppermint tea. Got the vape. Can't sleep. It's late here. It's going on 2 a.m. And man, insomnia. Insomnia is a hell of a drug. And when it gets bad enough, the best thing to do is just find something else to do because you'll toss and turn for hours. And that's not doing any good for anyone. Right, let's see what we've got here. I think Great Western does have a voiceover. Let's see what they tell us.
With London Paddington closed due to engineering works, you've been called on to assist with the trains being turned back at Ealing Broadway.
All right. Change platforms. Head over to platform 3. You can do that. They said 3, right? 3 it is. Here we are. Wait for service. Huh. Okay. Well, looks like there's something right there. Headed our way. Let me hit this vape while we have a minute. So yeah, super laid back tonight because I'm super tired, and it's insomnia is the craziest thing. I know a lot of people think it's uh, not being tired, and it is exactly the opposite. It is being exhausted, but not being able to sleep. Not being tired is just being.
Thanks for helping out today. With your local
All right.
knowledge, the manoeuvres at Ealing Broadway should go smoothly. When you're ready, take control of the train.
Darling, I'm ready right now. Let me get this gangster out of here. He's out. Right. Get this closed. Climb aboard. Sit down in the driver's seat. Alright. Tab. And we're going to unlock the left doors. Right. Loading passengers. What else can we get ready in here? I'm not totally familiar with all these trains yet. There's a horn. Reverse. Let's get the reverser to forward. I imagine that's where they're going to want us to go. Lights are not up there. Lights are windscreen, train supply, de-icer, wipers, brakes, parking brakes, gauges. There we go. That's something else. That's something else. Well, good thing it's daylight because I can't find the lights. I know they're here somewhere. I seem to recall seeing them. There they are. Right. Lock the carriage doors. Lock left. Confirm the guard signal, which is... Ah. This is going to burn us. Oh. Yeah, that's what I meant. There we go. Set the train brakes to running. There we go. Give us a little. Because I just like the horn. Right, no problem with the speed limit here. It's over 120, so can we... 13 miles, can we let her buck? And I'm not. It's 9 a.m. It's pretty foggy. How are we feeling about these lights? We're gonna stay with where they're at. Lights are just fun, man. I don't know what it is about lights. Beacon lights and headlights and ETS2 lights, tractor lights. It's just fun, man. It's a conundrum. It's a mystery. Right, now this... Okay, this is... I've been playing with so many new trains lately, since I got all these DLC, that... Well, I'm not familiar with all of them yet. And the other thing is, I get super enthusiastic, so I hop in these trains, and it's like, yeah, let's go, go, go. And then after I get rolling, after we're going 80 miles an hour, that's when I ask myself, now, is this the one you stop with the electric brake or the automatic brake? And really, that's the kind of thing that you want to be asking before you're going 80 miles an hour. I'm also, well, that's... Now I can wait. I got a reply on a video from somebody that said there is a way to, I guess, move this marker up. So it's not in the world, or what I think of as the world. It's up on the HUD, maybe, or up above. No. But I feel like that's the last thing we need to move. And if we can do that, then we'll be really, really immersive. And I do like being immersed. Right. I'll hit the T again. So good. Peppermint herbal tea. I didn't have any lavender, which would be my preference when you're trying to get to sleep. Alright, I got this thing. Right? Give that a little tap now and then. Yeah, I would love to, and I'm sure there is, I know there's some gangster out there that knows these routes. There's probably somebody that actually rides these trains as a passenger and knows these routes and knows all the stops, knows the distances, knows the grade, and knows the signage and the signal lights that are used in the UK, and can drive this whole route they can drive the whole route like that. Just gangster. Absolute. Just a carnivore. A train simulation carnivore. Doesn't need nothing. But me, I'm not quite a carnivore yet. So I need a little help. But still, to me this is a pretty immersive game, and I think part of the reason why is the pacing of it. It's sort of slow and what I think of as unhurried, like the truck sims. There's nothing really manic or frantic about it. It takes its time to get there. There's nothing hurried about it. And in that way, it's the opposite of a lot of video games that are very, to my eye, very frantic. A lot of jumping around. And while real life can be that way, there are moments of frantic activity. A lot of life is sort of slow, sort of zen. Whether you know it or not, it's sort of zen. And these games to me are kind of zen. Like right now, we're just looking at a marker that's nearly 8 miles away. And we're just moving toward it, and that's it. And there is something kind of zen about that. We'll get there when we get there. And between here and there, we're going to have all kinds of adventures. We have to, and we're not just going to drive there and stop, and then that's it. So they're going to put us on a siding. They're going to make us wait for a freight train. We're going to, I don't know, get to snowy tracks and have to use the sander. I have no idea. I've never done this scenario before, but something's going to happen. Between here and there, something is going to happen. And in the meantime, we just keep moving forward. And in that way, it is sort of a metaphor for life, right? You just move forward. You can't go back. You can't go sideways. You can't stop. You're just going to keep moving forward. And between where you are and where you're going, all kinds of things are going to happen, and you have no idea what they are. So that, to me, is a pretty zen game. Take a look outside again. And it's really well executed, too, I think. Although I'm getting a ton of pixelating on the tracks, and my frame rate just kicked me in the groin. Oy. I don't know what that was about. I gotta speed up my system somehow. But isn't that always the way, though? Like, no matter, you get a new system, right? And no matter what it is that you get, no matter how fast it is, it's fine for like a month or 6 weeks because you're comparing it to the one you just came off of. And then at a certain point, inevitably, no matter how fast that system is compared to the one you just came off of, at a certain point, inevitably, it's like, man, I got to do something about this. This is terrible. I got to speed this up. And so we do, and it's like chasing the dragon, but instead of heroin, it's 120 FPS. So, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good right now. I mean, I'm over 30 FPS, but my capture is capped at 30 FPS. So everything over 30 is just for me. It's not for you. Not that, I mean, I'm not saying like I'm not going to give you any. You could have some. I'm not keeping it to myself. I didn't mean it like that, but you can't see the difference because the video caps at 30. So anytime it's above 30, even if it's looking a little choppy to me, I know it's looking okay to you. And then when it goes below 30, we're both, I think, a little, But it's holding. So I'm gonna break a little early. So I don't know, are the tracks actually slippery when it's snowy? We don't have a time that we need to get there, but I'm still looking to be as timely as possible, but I don't want to go blowing through the station like a crazy person. Right. We've also got this yellow signal. I'm trying to learn this stuff, man. I've been reading up on it, and I know in the US system, yellow means like you need to be able to stop your train in a certain distance when you're in a yellow. And the length and weight of your train determines that. So if you're just a couple of locomotives, going from here to there, you could stop in, I don't know, 50 yards, 100 yards. So you can go a little bit faster, and if you're a great big freight train going down a hill, you wouldn't be able to. So even though it's one of those things like you would want a number, right? Go this speed. It's a business. Yeah. Railroad lines are businesses, so they can't have you going any slower than you need to be. So So if you can go fast, or faster. And that's why it's not a number, I guess. But different way to say it. At least that's the way I understand it. But like I said, I continue to read about this stuff and learn about it and try to figure it out. Curious fellow. Right. How'd we do? Unlock the carriage doors. Let's see how close we got. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that, man. So happy. So happy right now. Right. So we've got a red signal and 500 feet. We did. Now it's a yellow. Okay. So I guess we've got some traffic moving up ahead of us. Right. So.
Okay, you're clear to shunt into Acton Yard.
Confirm the guard signal. Set the train brakes to running. Unnecessary and possibly inappropriate. And like you're not supposed to do that. But you know what, man? I just like it. What can I say? I'm enthusiastic. Now, she did say throttle 1. And we're not on a clock here. So maybe we'll just give it a little goose up to 17 mph. And we'll just coast on 1. Maybe they don't want us going any faster. So yeah, I got that comment, and I didn't, as I was getting everything fired up tonight, it didn't occur to me to read it again and set the options to what this person described that would, I guess, move that from there to the other side. We can always do it later. Right. Get our brakes ready. So I came into the in-cab view fairly quickly. Oh, hang on. Slow down just a little bit. There we go. I came into the in-cab view before I saw whether anybody was getting on our train. I think we might be empty right now. I have a feeling we're going to be doing some uncoupling up here. I hope we are. That'd be fun. Right. I'm also assuming that they're taking care of all the switches for us, because I haven't done any. Right. Pretty good frame rate. Being in a yard, we're still doing all right. And this is all, yep, this is all live track. Very cool. Right. So let's come in here. All right. Set the reverser to engine off. All right. Wait a minute. Okay. Ah, so the little icon was on the key, but that wasn't what they off right there. Tail lights, not off. Tail lights. Right. Okay. I'll set here. And we're walking. You know, even when you stand this close, even the ripples and irregularities in the body panels on the sides of these carriages are just the level of detail, right? Like when you look at them from back here, it's just all smooth and flat, as it does in real life. But when you get right next to it, like a lot of things, looks good for my house, but when you get up close to it, it's a little banged up, which is the way the real world is. So really like that level of detail. Right. Climb up the steps. Sit in the driver's seat.
You're all good to go. Depart as soon as you're ready. A successful job, I think.
Fantastic. I also want to find let's get a little heat going. Right? It's kind of a snowy day. Yeah. Right. So unlocked. Set the reverser forward. Right. Turn some lights on. Alright. Set the train brake to running. Launch one. Right. And we'll do this. Here we go. Healing Broadway. Okay, so what did we do? We just flipped this train around. Alright, that's that too. Start. Alright, and then these are some other things. Alright, that's my wipers. These are other things. Okay, cool. So I'm not sure if we're just going to go back the other way now. What is this? When we stop, I need to remind myself to explore this train a little bit more before we end the mission. Although, I guess I could do that, yeah, because this will be 45 minutes. I don't want to keep you too long. That will be something that I can do on one of the service routes, right? Where you just hop in on any service. It's not a scenario. It's sort of free play, sort of free roam, but it's not, which I think is a good compromise. It's not, you just jump on any one of dozens of daily services and control it for a while. So it's got more structure than free roam, but it's not as rigid, I guess, as a scenario. Yeah, you know what I mean. Right. When I look at the amp meter down there in our little HUD in the lower right corner, it's amazing that you just give it the tiniest bit of throttle and it immediately jumps up to over 2,000 amps. I mean, it's pinning the needle at 2,000 amps. It's got to be more than that. And that is just, it's just an unbelievable number. If you know electricity, if you know amps, 2,000 amps is just, kind of gives me a chill thinking about it because it is an outrageous amount of power. And I guess, are we going back? Did we? No, we didn't come from Paddington. We came from somewhere else. But didn't it say in the mission notes that we'll be going back to Paddington? Well, I have a feeling there's going to be a long, fast run when we leave here. I don't think we're doing... It's almost like an express. I don't think we're doing a lot of stops. So hopefully we can just get her going. Fantastic. Right. Unlock the carriage doors. You got it. And while I'm here, and while we have a minute, pardon me, I can do this quickly enough. Right, I want the object marker off, but the scenario marker on. So, object marker on, sorry, object marker off, scenario marker on. Okay, so we will apply, back, resume. Okay, let's see what this does. We did open doors, didn't we? We must have, because it says we're loading. Right. Lock the carriage doors. 13 miles. Stop at location. Slough. Now this is going to be tricky. I think I just made my life a little more difficult because we don't have a marker. So we're going to need to, I guess, just really look carefully. Well, if it's going to count down from 13 miles, then we'll see when it gets under, I believe it's about 0.6 miles. It's when it jumps to meters. So if we have that counting down meters and we're looking out the windscreen attentively, we should be able to visually spot the platform. So then the only other thing that I would need to get out of the, what I think of as the world view, the view out the windscreen, the only other thing that I would need to get rid of would be those marks on the tracks, and I can sort that out off camera. But in the meantime, yeah, we don't have the marker out there anymore. So So that means when we go here, whoa. Well, among other things, it takes a minute to get used to snow. Huh, okay. I'm making an executive decision. I am going. All right, I'm not. I was wondering if we had a bright ID test, supply, like flash, parking brake. I was wondering if we had a brighter headlight. We do not. Okay. We'll go with this. Yeah, I can't really. I mean, it's all right. FPS is all right, but it's not happy about it. It's much happier in here for some reason. Okay. Now I don't know, and again, this is a fairly high-level coding question, but I don't know as we're looking at this. I don't know if the engine is only rendering what we're seeing in the area demarcated by the actual windscreen, or if it's rendering the entire world and then overlaying the interior of the cab on it. And both have advantages, both have disadvantages. I'm curious. I guess that's the sort of thing I could ask in a forum. Find a thread somewhere and find somebody that knows. Right. Well, it looks like we're just going to head straight back to Slough, which, now that I think about it, that is where we came from, is it not? We didn't come from Paddington. It wasn't underground for one thing. It didn't have the look and feel of a place as big as Paddington. I know it was smaller, but I can't recall off the top of my head if it was Slough or not. It seems about right, the distance. Right. Heat going. Right. Time for a little bit more tea. I'm wondering how many trips it would take before a person knew this route, either as a passenger in real life or as a train driver in a simulation. This is just absolutely hypnotic. Very soothing. I'm wondering if this is enough to put me to sleep. And I'm not being an ass when I say that. But I'm wondering if this is relaxing enough that when I'm done here I'll be able to get some sleep. And it's not boring. It's not I don't mean put you to sleep like that, like a bad movie. Just, I don't know, decompress, take the edge off. I guess I think of this as the opposite of, I've been playing a lot of racing sims. I sort of forced myself to learn, for lack of a better word, to learn Project Cars 2 and Assetto Corsa. And I had played them, both of them, I thought, in a sort of a serious way. But in hindsight, it was a little bit sandbox. But I cranked everything up. I mean, it wasn't total sandbox, but it was not as difficult, not as challenging as it could have been. So I cranked it up that final couple notches and made it just absolutely as difficult as I could. And then took the time to really, I guess, learn how to, I mean, I know how to drive a car, and I know how to play a racing sim, I guess I had to combine the two because they're both so realistic, the physics and everything. So I took a little time to really learn them as sims, and I would say that either one of those are just about exactly the opposite of what we're doing right now, because there's this intense focus and all these things happening very quickly, and compare it to this where things are happening kind of slowly. So yeah, I'm wondering if this is if doing a race right now with all the cheats and assists off and the damage on and everything else, if doing a race like that right now would get me, for lack of a better word, kind of worked up, awake, if that would get me more awake, then is this going to help me be less awake and make it easier to fall asleep? Don't know. Glad about the tip on the location of that little bar up on top. I think that looks a lot better. Alright. I'm going to start getting ready to get ready. We're not on a clock, so we can start a little bit early. And you know, I have kind of a, I don't want to call it a phobia. I don't know what it is. I just really don't like the idea of overrunning a station and having to back up. You know, when I think about what I know about cars and racing and, you know, the history of motorsports and how long I've been watching motorsports and how intently I've been watching, and, you know, just being able to talk about racing, any type of racing, historically, pretty much everything but rally. I never followed rally super close, but Formula One and sports cars, Le Mans, motorcycles, and just all of it, all the way back through my childhood. And to think how I apply that to a racing sim, and thinking just now as I'm pulling this in here, thinking that there are people that have that same amount of knowledge and interest about trains. And as I'm sort of fumbling about the office here, looking for controls or wondering what this is, or, you know, tapping the horn or tapping this little reset down here for the ASW, AWS. Right, there you go. There's an example right there. But as I'm sort of fumbling my way through these things, to know that there are people that know this stuff, and they could tell you every specification for the locomotive that we're in right now, and all the safety systems, and, you know, the different models, the different series. Well, this is this one, and this is this one, and this one came out then, and then they, halfway through the season, they fixed it. They had to replace the thing because of the recall, and then the other thing. People's hobbies and the sort of esoteric knowledge that they have about just stuff, you know, the things that really do it for them. I think that's super cool. The mark on the track is gone. We no longer have that, which is okay by me. I wasn't crazy about it to begin with, but this is, I think, a perfect compromise, and I'm really glad we got that tip, because this is just exactly what I wanted. It is more immersive without being impossible. And who wants that? Right. Unlock the carriage doors. You got it. We're over here now. It's a decent stop. Let's see what we did in the back. Oh yeah. Yeah. No. Right there. I thought I saw that door right there. Yeah, right above the bridge. Cool. Everybody can get on and off as you do. Let's hop back in here. And I wonder, what's the protocol for this? Is this permitted? Is this frowned on? Stretch your legs a little bit. Catch a smoke. Nobody smokes anymore. Alright. I got a red signal. Is this the end of the line? Is this the end of the mission? I was told this is one of the more difficult missions in the game. Lock the carriage doors. There you go.
That seems to all run smoothly. We made a good scene there. Have a great day.
Oh. Alright. Walk to the exit and complete the scenario. Well, we got to do the thing then. So we set the brake. There's a parking brake over here, is there not? Parking brake. On. There we go. Yeah. Set us some parking brake. Do that. We'll give it one of those. Turn these off. Right? What else? Turn the heat off. We got any lights on in here? Engine room light. No, I feel like there is a light in here, but I feel like it's off. Right, and then over here, this is the big one. Where is it? Engine start. Engine stop. Yeah. I like the sound of that. Right. Walk to the exit. Well, it's not there. Let's try over here. We're getting closer to it. This is going to get a little tricky. We don't have our big green pillar of fire anymore. Right. Oh yeah, man. How relaxing is this? Just walking. Don't destroy my bags. Now, are we going to get any kind of a mark at all? Or are we just looking for the way out sign? Right. Okay. How'd we do? Well, we didn't level up, but we got some points. I know we did level up. No, we didn't. Missed it by what? 85 points. Right. Folks, thank you so much for stopping back to join the Portable Gamer. Thanks for stopping by for another episode of Train Sim World, Great Western Express DLC. And we'll see you next time. Take care now.